Yo, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Chad bringing y'all another video, man. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the Florida Don't Say Gay bill, all right? So, before we even get started, the woke mob has gotten upset recently about, Ron DeSantis and the bill that they're passing where they call it Don't Say Gay bill. Now, just to get some myths out the way, the number one myth: this bill is not prohibiting people to say gay in school. That's not what this bill is. So the woke, they like latch on to like these little buzzwords, don't say gay, and people think that's what it is. So the bill is actually titled Parental Rights in Education. That's the name of the bill. The woke have turned that into Don't Say Gay. So this bill, I'm reading this directly from what is the website called? FindLaw.com. This is so simple. You just type in Don't Say Gay bill and it brings up exactly what you need to see about it. So like I said, this is called Parental Rights in Education. That's the name of the bill. And it states that lessons about sexual orientation are banned outright in kindergarten through third grade. It also prohibits lessons in other grades unless they are age appropriate and developmentally appropriate. The measure, which would give parents the right to sue school districts, awaits Governor Ron DeSantis' signature, is scheduled to go into effect on July 1st. The bill's supporter says it strengthens parental rights by preventing teachers and school staffers from withholding information about gender issues from parents. An earlier version of the bill went further, requiring principals to tell parents if a student came out as other than straight. That provision was pulled last month. Opposition to the bill have been fierce. Democrats and LGBTQIA supporters have derisively dubbed it Don't Say Gay bill, says the law would stigmatize marginalized students and lead to bullying and attacks. Now, let's go back to what the bill actually states. It states that lessons about sexual orientation are banned outright in kindergarten through third grade. It also prohibits lessons in other grades unless they are age appropriate and developmentally appropriate. Now, this is not banning people from walking down the halls and saying, that's gay, or I'm gay, or this is gay, and that. It doesn't ban that. This bans lessons about sexual orientation in kindergarten through third grade. Now, when I was in kindergarten, right, I was only worried about Pokemon, my friends, having fun, trying not to get in trouble so that I can go to sleep on my cot in kindergarten. When I was in first grade, I was worried about Pokemon, everything like that. Nowhere from me going from kindergarten to third grade where we learning about sexual orientation and gender identities, and if you feel like this, then you could be this, or bi and trans and all that. Nowhere in kindergarten did I learn that. Not even up to third grade. Matter of fact, why are we trying to teach kids, little kids, kindergarten, bro, kindergarten through third graders, what all this stuff means? In that grade, my brain couldn't even comprehend what this stuff is, nor did my brain even think about this stuff. If I saw this happening, I'd be like, that's weird. I'll go home and ask my mom and stuff. But for the most part, I'm not worried about this. So them banning it outright is just like, who would be in opposition to that? Who would be in opposition to kids learning about sexual orientation in kindergarten through third grade? What are people really outraged? What are Democrats and the LGBTQIA supporters, what are they mad at? The kids aren't able to learn all these gender identities in kindergarten through third grade. When I got to third grade, we just started learning multiplication, how to write in cursive. That blew my mind already, because I'm like, okay, 9 times 2, 9, 9, 9. I'm confused on that. So for them to try to throw this into the mix too, what is the point? So like I said, this strengthens parental rights. So parents can just be like, why are you teaching my son or daughter who's in kindergarten through the third grade this material. First off, when people say like, well, it's just because they're trying to stop the LGBTQ and they're trying to, no, I don't want if I had kids, which I don't, but if I had some, I would be like, I don't want my kids learning about sexual orientation in kindergarten through third, through fourth, through fifth. I'm going to teach them that. As their parent, I'm going to tell them that. I don't need a teacher in class to push their woke ideologies on me. I don't need any of this stuff to happen because that's confusion. You know, kids don't need to be learning that. Just teach the curriculum. Like, I don't see what's so hard about just teach kids what they should be learning in kindergarten through third grade. They can do multiplication, you can do addition, you can learn a little bit of history, you know, you can learn about MLK, you can learn about anything, but why do we need to talk about sexual orientation and gender ideologies and trans and bi and this and that? Like, even if you want to treat straight sexual orientation, or whatever you want to call it, I don't want my kids to learn that either. I don't want them to learn anything about sexual orientation. So this bill is literally protecting not only kindergarteners through third grade, but also protecting parents so they can have a say-so in their child's education. So like I said, I don't really understand, I don't understand where all the outrage is. If people took like maybe 10 seconds or use like 5% of their brain and said, don't say gay bill. It's got to be more to it than that. Let me just type it in on Google. And then they pull it up and it says, it's actually Parental Rights and Education Bill. And it states that lessons about sexual orientation are banned outright in kindergarten through third grade. Oh, this bill is supposed to stop learning about this in kindergarten through third grade. But it does say, it prohibits lessons in other grades if they're age appropriate and developmentally appropriate. So it's not like it's just banning it all the way together. You know, if it's for a certain grade level and it's deemed appropriate for them to learn it, then okay, they can learn it. As a parent, if you still don't want your kid to learn it, then you could just probably opt out more than likely. Because I remember back in 5th grade when they tried to teach us this sort of stuff, we were given permission slips and our parents had to give us a signature and sign off for us to learn it. Those who wanted to learn it and their parents signed off, you got to learn it. Those parents didn't, you were taken out the class at the time. But I was never given a permission slip in kindergarten or anywhere up to third grade about this. So like I said, I don't really know where the outrage is. Now Ron DeSantis has come forth, and he stood his ground on this. He is not moving. And you have woke companies like Disney who is on the phone with Ron DeSantis like, yo, we spoke with Ron DeSantis. We told him that you shouldn't be passing this bill, blah, 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 blah.
I called Governor DeSantis this morning to express our disappointment and concern that if legislation becomes law, it could be used to unfairly target gay, lesbian, non-binary, and transgender kids and families.
Chapek first apologized for not speaking out sooner against the Don't Say Gay bill, and then said he called the governor to take a stance against it, particularly as an advocate for his LGBTQ plus employees.
He was very open to this conversation and finding out what aspects are most concerning and working to ensure that that could not happen in the state of Florida with this legislation.
The governor's office released a statement confirming the governor spoke with Bob Chapek, and the governor's position has not changed.
In the state of Florida, we are not going to allow them to inject transgenderism into kindergarten. First graders shouldn't have woke gender ideology imposed in their curriculums, and that is what we're standing for, because we're standing for the kids and we're standing for the parents. And I can tell you this, the chance that I am going to back down from my commitment to students and back down from my commitment to parents' rights simply because of fraudulent media narratives or pressure from woke corporations, the chances of that are zero. And when you have companies that have made a fortune off being family friendly and catering to families and young kids, they should understand that parents of young kids do not want this injected into their kids' kindergarten classroom. They do not want their first graders to go and being told that they can choose an opposite gender. That is not appropriate for those kids. And so if you're family friendly, understand the parents who are actually raising families want to have their rights respected. And I also think that if you have companies like a Disney that are going to say and criticize parents' rights, they're going to criticize the fact that we don't want transgenderism in kindergarten and first grade classrooms, if that's the hill that they're going to die on, then how do they possibly explain lining their pockets with their relationship from the Communist Party of China? Because that's what they do, and they make a fortune, and they don't say a word about the really brutal practices that you see over there at the hands of the CCP. And so in Florida, our policy is going to be based on the best interest of Florida citizens, not on the musing of woke corporations.
And you know, usually when woke companies start trying to get involved in these, like, I don't know why Disney, a kids like entertainment company, wants kids in kindergarten through third grade to learn this stuff anyway, but they're vouching that, you know, this bill not be passed, it's gonna be bad. And Ron DeSantis is like, yo, I talked to Disney, but you know, like I'm still not listening to them. Like, I'm gonna listen to the parents and the people of my, you know, district or whoever voted for me, and I'm standing my ground on this. And no, this is not gonna happen in kindergarten through third grade. You know, and then he even brought up the point, which, you know, I'll show you guys the video so that way it'll make sense. But he even brought up the point where he's like, why is Disney going to call me about banning sexual orientation conversations in kindergarten through third grade, but they won't speak up about China and its inhumane practices? Now, we have been speaking about China forever. Even when I was in school, I had a Chinese exchange student in my college class, and he was like, yeah, I left China, but China's getting out of control. They're more so pro-science and pro, you know, society, not individualism. And they're harvesting these Muslims' organs. And it's a whole thing. The Uyghurs, they're harvesting all their organs, and it's really bad. I don't hear Disney speaking about that because they want to seem morally superior. See, the thing about these woke companies is they want to seem morally superior. Oh, we're just the most morally and virtuous people out there. But yet they don't speak up about stuff that lines their pockets full of money and that also has just as much damage to society. Like, why speak up about kindergartners learning sexual orientation, but not speak about China, where you actually do most of your business, get most of your money from, and they're harvesting people organs and killing off groups of people based on race and their religious identities? Like, if you're going to stand your ground, Disney, you got to stand your ground no matter what. It has to be the same across the board. And that's a problem I also have with woke liberals and Democrats is they'll stand their ground for one thing, but it never, ever is the same across the board. It's always, oh, I stand my ground here. But then for these issues that are the exact same, I pick and choose when I want to, I guess, be offended or when I want to stand by that. You know what I mean? And so when it comes to this, it's just like, this is like, I've been trying to figure out why people have been so mad. And I honestly can't, because anybody who thinks a kindergartner should be learning about sexual orientation, whether gay, straight, bi, trans, anything, all the way up to third grade, bruh, you have a mental problem. They're coming after the kids. When I did that San Francisco Gay Men's Choir was like, we're coming after the kids. They're coming after the kids. They want, I don't know why you would want kids to know all this in kindergarten. They barely know how to write their name properly. They barely know multiplication by third grade. They barely know how to write cursive. Like, how are you going to get them to understand this? Like, this is an issue that I would say, if you're going to learn about sexual orientation, it's probably like a 7th, 8th grade, probably high school. Honestly, I don't even know if it's worth even teaching. Just let the parents just teach their own kids. Like, that's what parents are for. But, you know, more power to Ron DeSantis, more power to the people who actually looked up this bill and see what it actually stands for. I would say I support the bill. If I had kids, I don't want my kid in kindergarten and third grade learning about sexual orientation. It has nothing to do with the curriculum. It has nothing to do with anything. Just teach kindergartners in third grade what needs to be taught. This does not need to be taught. And now parents have the rights to be able to, you know, sue and also, you know, figure out what their kids learning in school. So if you see anybody say the "don't say gay" bill, they're trying to stop you from being able to say gay and trans and bi, they're brainwashed because they haven't done proper research. If you just take 10 seconds and 5% of your brain to look this up, it's that simple. But anyways, man, thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment down below if you have any. I wonder what you guys think about this. Like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. Like, stop coming for the kids, bro. Trying to brainwash the kid early, and then they use it as in terms of they're gonna be an ally. What really it does, it confuses kids. Instead of them being allies or really truly understanding, it's like you're trying to persuade them to join your propaganda or your ideology or your LGBTQ, and it's a whole thing, bro. But yeah, leave your comments down below on what you guys think. And as always, it's been your boy Chad. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out. Peace.